Alright guys, today we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to do a soda review. And what we're reviewing today is going to be a bit of a comparison. We are going to be comparing a standard Pepsi. This is the mini size, but I want to save money. So a standard Pepsi with Pepsi's real cane sugar version of the soda. So I'm very excited to try that. I'm going to see which is better. If the real sugar actually makes a big, just real sugar, not cane sugar. If the real sugar makes a big enough difference against the normal Pepsi, what I think would do is, I think it would be a big difference. So we're gonna see about that today, and I hope you enjoy. Yes, it is late. I meant to record earlier again, but the time that I only find to record is really at night. And also I started playing Persona 5. And that has been killing my time a lot recently, so oops. But we are outside today again. It is like, what, 60s degrees right now. I'm wearing a sweater and pants, but I don't feel too hot, which is nice. I set up a lamp, because last time I recorded in this spot, it was too dark. So now, it's a little bit more brighter, but that's because I literally have a whole desk lamp pointing right at my face, just so I don't look too dark, and there are some light to see, but that means there's fun shadows and stuff, so it's like, wah, you know? So that'd be super fun. So real quick, we're gonna talk about Pepsi. Just a little bit about my relationship with Pepsi, what I think about Pepsi, maybe a little bit of its history, if I remember anything. I remember a little bit. Pepsi came after Coca-Cola. It was a soda brand before, but once it realized Coca-Cola was doing so good, it tried to copy it. Tried to get its formula, I think, failed. They did something similar, and they've always been the second best. Pepsi's unofficial slogan was, "Is Pepsi okay?" which is not a really good slogan. But nowadays, I think they're doing a little bit better. There are some people who genuinely just like Pepsi more. A lot of companies like Taco Bell and Pizza Hut are owned by Pepsi because Pepsi realized it was cheaper to buy actual food industries than actually compete with Coca-Cola head-on, because Coke is just the most popular brand of soda of all time. So Pepsi tried its best, and they have been changing their logo so much. It is insane. Coca-Cola has been riding around with a very similar logo to what they've always had for years and years now, but this is so different. And this actually is a bit of a callback to their older logo, which I prefer over this. This looks stupid in my opinion. I do like the blue though. The blue is really nice. But yeah, so overall, I'd say I was a Coke head. Well, that sounds bad. Coca-Cola fan my whole life, just because everyone else is. Coke is just the better soda or whatever, right? Not really. In my opinion, I think I like Pepsi more, but I haven't tried that in a while. I've always wanted to be a contrarian about little things like this, just because, like, it's stupid why everyone likes Coke. I think everyone just loving it for no reason. It's like a brand loyalty. And what's the word? We only like one of them just because of the brand. You know, brand loyalty is the best way to go. And they're just ignoring the fact that Pepsi has good stuff too, which is just dumb because it's good soda. It's just soda. It's just cola soda at the end of the day, you know? So, yes, we are in the lawn chair with the cup holder, which I do appreciate. We're enjoying that. But yeah, as I was saying, like, you know, Pepsi, I like Pepsi. It's good. And more recently, I have become a huge fan of their cane sugar, or I keep saying cane sugar, their real sugar soda. This has been my go-to soda. In college, I would buy packs of these and have them in my mini fridge. And this would be my afternoon caffeine. My morning caffeine was a tea or a chai latte or an espresso, or sometimes an energy drink, not as much. I haven't been having a lot of energy drinks in college. Now that I'm home, I'm having more, but that's because I don't have all of my stuff to make my usual drinks. And there will be videos about that in the future. But my afternoon caffeine has been soda, and I really like Pepsi Real Sugar. Really good, really good. But I haven't had this in a while. I haven't had standard Pepsi in a while, just because I like the real sugar so much. So we're gonna see how much of a difference there really is between the two sodas. So we're really going to find out if the Pepsi real sugar is 10 times better than the not real sugar. So I hope you guys enjoy. And I'm also just gonna get a thumbnail real quick. Perfect. That should work. So I think we should also talk about how each of them looks, like the can and stuff, and then we'll go into it. So let's see, what's the main difference so far? So this is 10 calories less, 100 versus 90. That's the first thing. Both mini size. 49% added sugars versus 52 added sugar, so this is going to be sweeter, apparently. No protein in either of them. So the ingredients for the standard Pepsi, the ingredients go as following. Carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, caramel color, sugar, phosphoric acid, caffeine, citric acid, natural flavor. That's it. And then caffeine content, 24 milligrams. With this one, it goes carbonated water, sugar, caramel color, phosphoric acid, caffeine, natural flavor. Caffeine content 24. So this has, both have phosphoric. This one is missing citric acid, and this is also missing the high fructose corn syrup. And high fructose corn syrup is an American invention that is really bad for you, apparently. So this is actually a lot healthier for you because it's made with real sugar. But I think we should start with the standard Pepsi. I haven't had it in a while, so this will be a bit of a first impression for me of how I really like a Pepsi, standard Pepsi. So we're gonna crack this open real quick though. The cans themselves, we did just talk about what's in them. The looks, this wins all the way. The classic look just looks better. The more colors, the logo looks great. You still have the Pepsi colors, but it's a white can. I think a white can just looks so nice. The white on blue on the back looks really nice. The blue on white looks a little more like a beer, but it's a soda. This feels more like a premium soda. Well, this just feels like a Bud Light turned soda. You know, this just wins all the way. I do like the modern design a little bit. It's kind of cool, but this is so much better. I also don't like how the peas look in Pepsi. That's just my opinion, though. It just looks weird. This costed them like millions of dollars to make, by the way. This dumb freaking Photoshop project. Yeah, it costed them millions of dollars to make, which is just insane. But we are going to crack this Pepsi Standard Edition open. It's a mini. I wanted to save some money, and I also don't want a lot of caffeine at night. So we're going to crack this open. Good bubbles in there. I think without further ado, what we should do is smell taste. Smell taste. Test the smell. It smells sweeter than a Coke would. Coke has a kind of distinct smell, but it has a lot more of that caramel hint to it. But this smells a lot sweeter. It smells really good. I always like the smell of Pepsi over Coke, which is a weird thing to just say out loud. Damn, I really fell off. What happened in my life? Alright, well, let's take a sip of the Pepsi Standard Edition, and I'll tell you guys what I think. Wow. This is really good. Like I said before, at least when what I remembered, Pepsi is sweeter than Coke. And that is definitely true. It's like a Coke if they really sweeten it up. Not a very sugary flavor though. Not so good carbonation either. But I guess it's a mini, so they don't really get good carbonation. I think it's the can just working against it. Very muted flavor overall, though, I will say. A Coke, I feel, has a little bit more of a personality. And I can also feel the damage it's doing to my teeth from the high fructose corn syrup. I can just feel it. So, not a bad soda. Probably not something that's my favorite, but I honestly think standard Pepsi beats standard Coke. I like a couple weeks ago, I said that Coke beats Pepsi, but I think I'm gonna have to flip it around again just because I really like that it's a little bit sweeter. I don't know, I guess my palate's been changing over time. Because I kind of like that it's a little bit sweeter, it's more of like a sweet drink. I don't like sweet candy, but I like sweet drinks. So the Coke, it's not sweet enough for me and for my opinion. It's not sweet enough. It's good, but it's not, I don't know, it's just missing that a little. It's a soda, for God's sake. You know, let it be sweet, let it be tasty, let it be a little savory. I will say, though, points against this, it's way too mild. Like, Coca-Cola has a little more of a presence in your mouth, let's just say, you know? This feels very muted and dialed back, you know? Which is fine, it just, I don't know, I think it might be the can working against it with the carbonation and stuff, but Overall, a bit of a more muted flavor. Now, let's crack open a Pepsi Cola soda shop made with real sugar Pepsi drink right here. Let's crack it open, do a little bit of a smell test. Cracking that bad boy open. It smells different. Wait, hold on. I didn't think there would be much of a difference. Sweet. Bit of a caramel mixed with, yeah. A little bit of a citrusy smell. Not a lot, of course, it's not like an orange juice, but caramel, citrusy. But this has a more muted smell. I'm gonna try and get my sniffer ready for this. A lot more muted. I think the fructose corn syrup smells and makes a distinct smell, but I think that might be a bad thing because this doesn't smell much. You can smell the sweetness of it, kind of the caramelly part of it. There's no citric acid in here though, so maybe it's missing some of that for sure. And yeah, smells very sweet, like a cola drink, but a little more muted and doesn't have that weird fructose corn syrup smell, which kind of smells good, but this smells nice too. It smells a lot more akin to a Coke, that's for sure. This smells less Pepsi, more Coke. So we're gonna try the Pepsi Cola soda shop made with real sugar soda right now. Let's try it out. That's really good. But how similar is it to a standard Pepsi? Because I remember for the longest time, at least during my first semester, I was like, this mogs it all the way, this is the best soda of all time. But how much different is it from a standard Pepsi? I mean, overall, this is the one I would buy. You'd think this would be more expensive because there's real sugar, but they were the same price. Which I think is stupid. Don't even sell this. Just put real sugar in the first place. Because it's not, I don't know, it's just healthier, you know? But like a Mexican Coke is better for you because it has real sugar in it. You know, the bottled ones. And those are really good. Yeah, it tastes very similar to this, but it lacks that. It's a little less sweet. It's still sweeter than a Coke. It's a little less sweet, and it lacks that citrusy twang that the other Pepsi has. And honestly, I used to say I would never buy this. This tastes alright. Honestly, they're pretty next to each other actually. This is a lot better than I thought it was. But at the end of the day, this is better. Right here, the Pepsi Cola is better than Pepsi. And I think it's just because you can taste that more natural flavoring. And the citrusy twang is good, and it's very sweet, but compared to this might be a little too sweet. I have to admit, this might be a little too sweet compared to this one. So, really, it's a lot closer than I thought it would be. But, yeah, it's a lot closer than I thought it would be. This is definitely a lot sweeter than this. I'm double wielding Pepsi products right now. I'm sponsored, basically. This is a close call. I have to say, if it were to sum my thoughts up, I would say that this is the better soda because it has a more organic taste, is a little less sweet, and I know I just said I really like sweet drinks, but this compared to this is a little too sweet. So this is a little less sweet, no citrusy twang, which is a little, I kind of like it, but Doesn't need to be there. I kind of prefer it this way too. And yeah, you can taste that organic taste. It's not as sweet, still just as sugary and savory. But this one is a little too sweet. That citrusy twang is present, which I don't hate it, but it's not a favorite. I'm not going to be crying that it's gone, clearly, since this is my favorite. But I will say, I have to give standard Pepsi some credit, because it's really not bad. Like, in my opinion, if your Coca-Cola doesn't come from a fountain, like canned Coca-Cola is not that good in my opinion. I'm not a big fan. This, I like better. So if I were to rate these sodas, I would give this a 6 out of 10, this a 7 out of 10, and standard Coke I would give a 5 out of 10. So 5, 6, 7. That's how I would do it. But I think I should test this theory. I should do another video where I compare standard Pepsi with standard Coke and see what we think. And then another video could be Mexican Pepsi, well, sugar Pepsi, with sugar Coke or Mexican Coke, and see which one really wins. Because my current standings for cola Cokes, or for cola drinks, goes Pepsi Real Sugar, then Pepsi, then Mexican Pepsi, or actually no, right now it's going Mexican Pepsi, Mexican Coke, Pepsi Coke. Just because the real sugar is just better. I think high fructose corn syrup, all vegetable oil, canola oil, all that stuff is not good for you. So not only is it not good for you, real sugar just tastes better. It's a more organic flavor that's not faking it. You know, it's like an Impossible Burger versus a good burger. You know, it's just, they're very similar, but it's not the same. And this is definitely missing out on the real sugar that this has. So I have to say, this is better. I have to say this is better. 6 out of 10, or 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10. Very good. What do they taste like together? Low key, it tastes like Pepsi. Wow. It tasted like Pepsi. Who would have known mixing two Pepsis together would make it taste like Pepsi? Interesting. So, honestly, I'm actually pretty surprised. I really thought there'd be a bigger difference, but no, they're pretty similar. And I think that's because Pepsi has been tweaking their formula. At least for Coca-Cola, I do know that they have been very adamant about tweaking their standard zero sugar Coke to taste like their normal Coke. And they've been making their normal Coke taste a little bit better just throughout the years, you know? Because they're slowly improving their soda. And if you look in the marketing, I think this is really interesting. If you look in the marketing of Coca-Cola and with Pepsi, they are first to show Pepsi Zero Sugar and Coke Zero Sugar before they show their standard products. And that's because I think these soda companies think that Gen Z is a little more health-oriented. And I guess that's kind of true if you look at, like, Whole Foods and Trader Joe's just being bigger things. People trying to go for the more expensive but organic version of things. You know, people are Publix instead of Walmart, you know. Which, honestly, they're missing out at the great prices. Sure, I'm going to dive before you, but, you know, great prices, you know. So, I think they're kind of taking note of that, and they're like, oh, people don't want all that sugar. All that sugar's bad for them, so we're going to make zero sugar. And if you taste two of them, at least from what I've heard about what they've been doing with the formula, they taste about the same, which is kind of crazy. So where you could be drinking, oh, the fountain's turned off. You could be drinking a Coke Zero Sugar and you wouldn't even know it. Soda history is super interesting. It's just about how Coca-Cola has had such an impact on soda in general, and same with Pepsi. Like, Pepsi's sponsorship with Michael Jackson is iconic. It is strange how tied together Pepsi is with Michael Jackson. Also, Pepsi bought like 8 warships from Russia to pay off their formula for their Pepsi drinks to give to the stores there, and they sold those ships for scraps, and they had, I think, like the 15th largest fleet of ships Pepsi did, which is like crazy. And then Coca-Cola is the reason why we have Santa the way he looks. He's a product of Santa, of Coca-Cola. So Santa wearing the white and the red with the white and stuff, it's Coca-Cola color. So it's like, it's pretty crazy how these soda companies have had such an impact on American culture and stuff. I think it's interesting. And then beyond that, American culture impacts the rest of the world in a very interesting way. Yeah, sure, we're the hootin' and toolin' and hollerin' cowboys, but we still have an impact on the earth. I mean, just look at Formula One.
Formula One, they now have a Austin, Texas race. They have, or I think, I don't know if it's Austin, I think it is. They have a Miami one, they have a Texas one, and they have Las Vegas. They have 3 races in America for Formula One, which is a only European thing. I was about to say dominantly, but it's like only Europe. It's got United Kingdom in there, Germany, French, stuff like that. It's very European sport. But we have 3 races in America, which is crazy. And it's because A, there's more fans over here, but B, I think that, you know, America does bring a certain something to the races. We bring celebrities, which makes really awkward stuff happening, like with DJ Khaled trying to screw into things. Oh, it's just, if you ever watch that video, just turn it off. It hurts to watch. Same with Sergio Perez, when that guy from Rocky was like announcing him and he just stands there. That video actually causes me physical pain. It's so bad. Ugh.
I am going on a bit of a tangent. What are we talking about? We're talking about soda. I think I need to wrap up the video too because we're getting kind of long. So overall, I am going to say, if you're going to go to the soda store and you want to pick up a cola drink, I would pick up a Pepsi Cola Soda Shop Real Sugar Soda. I'm not saying this isn't good, but this is really good. If there's like a BOGO for this, then go for it. They taste very similar. This is healthier for you, that's for sure, but soda's bad for you at the end of the day. I'm going to get cavities, whatever. Soda's still bad for you, but they're both really good. I wouldn't say that this is like absolute dog crap like some people would say. That's not true at all. It's a little bit sweeter, so if you've been drinking Coke your whole life, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a change. But honestly, if you like a sweeter drink, Pepsi's the way to go. And if you want a more organic, it might be pricier in your area. If it is, walk out of the Publix you're in and then walk into a Walmart, and then it'll be a little cheaper. But yeah, just if this is something that's in your price range, definitely go for it. If this is something that's in your price range, maybe like a Dollar General. Dollar General has deals for these, and I know they can go for pretty cheap. You can get like a liter bottle. Although I don't really recommend the plastic bottles. Plastic bottles don't keep the carbonation well. Best way to drink a soda is from a bottle, then a can, then a plastic bottle. That's the way it goes. So just be very careful about that. If you get like a 2 liter and then you forget about it, it's gonna taste nasty because it's gonna lose all of its carbonation and it's just syrupy water at that point, and that's not good. No one wants syrupy water. They want soda with carbonation. And for all you folk out there who don't like carbonation, what are you doing watching this video? Half of the videos I've made are about carbonated drinks. Non-alcoholic beers are carbonated drinks, soda's a carbonated drink, energy drinks are a carbonated drink. Like, get out of here, literally. Also, you're weird. That's right, Aaron. I don't know if you like soda anymore. You used to say you didn't like the bubbles. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope you enjoyed me talking about soda and Formula One for some reason. I hope you enjoyed me talking about Pepsi Cola. Please go pick some of this up. It's really good. The minis are really nice too. They're a good small size for the afternoon. 24 milligrams of caffeine ain't bad. That means you can have 2 of these and it's only like 50 milligrams of caffeine, which ain't bad, you know? Especially for an afternoon drink when you're trying to keep your caffeine down so you can go to bed, because I do have a lot of sleeping issues. That's a good drink to drink, you know? So highly recommend you go pick up some soda, Pepsi Cola Soda Shop Real Sugar. And then if you find a BOGO deal, sure, pick this up. But don't pick up a Coke product, because Coke products are not as good as Pepsi, and don't let other people tell you otherwise. Except for Sprite. Sprite is better than Starry. I'm sorry. I don't even have to make a video. It's just true. Sprite is the greatest soda of all time. It's my favorite soda. It's just amazing. I should do a Sprite review because I just love Sprite. Sprite's just fantastic. So I'm going to let you guys go. You have a good night, all right? Take care. Please subscribe and enjoy the day, all right? Goodbye.